everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna play some more Fear Me, the Jeff the Killer dating sim. Found on itch.io. Let's begin. Do you want to activate the affection interface? It'll let you know if affection for you is growing or not. Yes. Level 1. What is the fear of death, really? You forgot what it's like to fear the end of days, but it's not like you lost your will to live. It's more like empathy. Empathy that led you into a pretty mediocre adult life. No legacy, no big dreams, nothing left undone. The idea that one day you'd just be gone doesn't really bother you. But it's not like you want to die. No, of course not. You're fine with your life, how your life is. That's all. If one day, poof, you're just vanished, you still feel at peace, because the world will keep turning anyway. You're okay with your life, maybe a little bland and average, but yours, and you get to decide how to live it. If that means not taking anything seriously, well, that's your call. It's a blockbuster. So you spend every weekend working full-time at a video rental store. You love movies. Main reason you took the job? It's something you actually kind of like. Sure, these days, the only people who come here are to these kind of play stores are nostalgic junkies and film nerds. But hey, at least you can kill some time watching all kinds of movies on the monitors during slow days. The place is colorful enough not to drag your mood down. If you were lucky, you might even run into some interesting characters. Excuse me. You've been staring so intently at one of the monitors playing in some classic action flick. They didn't know someone's standing across the counter. Oh, Jeff. You glance up at the customer. You're sitting in your designated spot. Hey, you got your eyes as a employee. And flinch, it will, at the opposing figure in front of you. It's a tall, slim guy wearing a hoodie and a bandana covering his mouth and nose. You raise an eyebrow at his outfit. Looks like he's trying really hard not to draw attention, which somehow just makes him stand out even more. But hey, who are you to judge? Not really. I'll walk around in the hoodie if I could, but it's 100+ degrees half the time. I found this on the floor. He whipped a pale hand towards you. Long fingers, big palm. Not that he paid it profile. You paid to profile people's hands or anything. He was holding an employee badge. Your employee badge. YN. Oh wow! He reached for your neck. Yep, your badge was definitely gone. You arrived a few minutes late today and rushed into your uniform. Probably dropped it while doing the urgent stuff. The fact that no one knows it until now says a lot about how often customers show up. Thanks so much. I didn't even notice. He mumbled the last part. More to yourself than the stranger. Suddenly, he let out a soft chuckle from behind his bandana. Aw. I know he's gonna go try to go stabby on us. Was he laughing at you or with you? To ease the awkwardness, you gave him a little chuckle back. Do you get into trouble a lot, YN? He jumped a bit hearing your name. But duh, he must read it off your badge. A stalker? Yeah, right. What a joke. I have a whole bunch of stalkers. Get in line, Jeff. There's a whole bunch. There's nothing that special about you for someone to be assessed. Still, you definitely picked up on the guy's flirty tone. Either that, or you're getting full of yourself. 4-pack. Why, you're gonna save me again? Under the guy's bangs, he thought he saw his eyes light up. Something light up Might have just been your imagination. Maybe. You gave a faint smile, as vague reply. You didn't usually flirt with customers, but there was something about this guy that made you feel like you're stepping into a game. Yeah, dating some. That he might go stabby on us. You weren't sure if you wanted to play along yet, but I wasn't off the table. Name's Jeff, by the way. Huh? Felt kind of unfair that only I knew your name. All right. Okay, that was awkward. Come on, Ryan. You could do better than that. Well then, Jeff, what can I help you with? Don't think you came all the way just to return lost property. Jeff leaned over the counter, just enough for his eyes to peek out from under his bangs. He stiffly leaned back a little from the sudden movement, but kept your polite customer service smile. I'm still deciding if I should grab something or not. As a salesperson, you should try to sell him as much as possible, but something told you Jeff was lying for his teeth. It's like, what is it? The fact that we already were having past experience with the game? The first demo, you stared at him. You stared at him for a few seconds in silence, watching him pretend to think. Let's ask off the bat, are you singing one? Jeff faltered a bit, his eyes finding yours. You got a proper look at them. Light blue, like a sky with a whispery clouds. You knew there was a ton of shades of blue eyes, but you were pretty sure you'd never seen any this pale. Jeff stayed silent for a few seconds, recovering from the initial shock of surprise, then tilted his head with a teasing smirk. What if I do? That would be a shame. And could you be a little more shareable? You rest your chin on your hand, flashing a sly smile. Jeff cleared his throat behind the bandage, and you had a strong suspicion he was stifling a laugh. Hey, at least you got a reaction. Shifting away from personal stuff, he slipped back into work mode. Want me to recommend something? That'll be nice. Scream. What kind of genres do you like? Jeff straightened up and stroked his chin thoughtfully, his voice muffled slightly by the bandage. I want you to recommend something you actually like. What's your favorite genres? I'll go for... Oh yeah? What's your favorite subgenre? I'm gonna go with slasher, because, other than classic monsters, I've seen Scream, and Scream is the more recent one I watched. Slasher. Oh yeah, that's my favorite too. Yeah, it's awesome. It mixes tension and action in a way that's super engaging. It also gives you that intense feeling, tapping into your most primal fear, being chased. Yeah, I guess. You don't think so? No, I do. I just don't share that fear personally. I feel that suspense when characters get hunted down. I get the suspense when characters get hunted down or RIP'd, but not because I'm afraid it might happen to me. Anyone would be scared of being chased by a slasher. I know, it's just not something I relate to. Jeff muttered something, but I still can't quite catch it. Did you say something? Nothing in particular. Well, so do you wanna... I'm just remembered. I got a perfect movie at home. What? I just went out to see what was at the market, but I think I've had enough. But... Suddenly, Jeff grabbed your hand, and lifted it gently, in a gentlemanly gesture. You're speechless, cough guard. Thanks for the service. The words get stuck in your throat as he stepped away from the counter and headed for the exit. I'll be friendly. Be friendly. Come back again? Maybe next time we'll find something you like. Jeff didn't turn around, but waved goodbye with his hand. He stayed there for a while, trying to process what just happened. Looks like today was one of those days where you met someone eccentric, but the whole encounter left you feeling kind of weird. Was it because Jeff was covered head to toe? Something quite suspicious, something to watch out for? Probably. Or something to date. Though, all things considered, the conversation with him was pretty chill. He never felt in danger. Or did we? Maybe he was just a weirdo, that's all. You rarely believe that then think you rarely believe that you think he ran into a fugitive on the run. But then you would rather believe that than think you ran into a fugitive on the run. But then, after thinking about the guy for a while, you realized you haven't made a single sale all day. Tough luck, Wyan. Tough luck. Your shift's over. You work full-time, so you always finish at night. But it's no big deal since you live just a few blocks away. In some ways, you're kinda lucky. I need to come in at 10 tomorrow. We got a new shipment coming in. Cindy was your manager, only because her dad handed the store down to her. She wasn't a big boss. She wasn't a bad boss, just not the warmest or most understanding. She spent most of her time holding up in the back office, and only came out when she randomly decided to show some interest in the job. But my shift starts at 12. I can't ask anyone else. The part-timers only come in on weekends. Yeah, but I'm full-time, dude. There's something called overtime. Are you at least paying me overtime? I could give you gift cards. No, overtime. You let out a heavy sigh. Stuff like this always wrecked your day. Which said a lot, considering your day was technically already over. Alright, but just know you owe me big time. At least you didn't have to close the store. This place gets creepy at night. Every place is creepy at night. Almost every place. And you know that because you watched a lot of movies. It's just common sense, you know that what? Never mind. Says a city has common sense. You grab your stuff and head out for the door. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Cindy waved you off before putting her headphones in and disappearing into her music. At the way she said goodbye, you took it as a sign that you exist in her world. You step out of the store and close the door behind you, taking one last glance at the sign that now says closed instead of open. It's part of your routine, saying goodbye to Cindy, letting her close the place up, and heading home. You've been living on your own since you started working. Life as a semi-functional adult in a capitalist world is rough by match. Even though the street is well lit, the air still feels heavy and a little eerie as you walk towards your apartment. It's always been like this. You got no reason to be scared of something you live with every day. That's when you feel someone yank your arm to the side hard. Maybe it should have been more alert. We have level 5 of fetch and he's still doing this. They drag you into the alley, just off the street. It's much darker here, but the street lamp nearby lets you make out what's in front of you. The sun movement disorientates you, and you're slow to react. What the? You're cut off by a light blow to the side of your head. The person has you pinned against the brick wall behind you. From the corner of your eye, you watch a glimpse of their arm, a femoral right sleeve stretching into your blind spot. You're done playing dumb. You finally lift your head to see who cornered you. You got a pretty good guess. Hi again, Wyan. Hey, Jeff. Answering creeps in the sight of the pale face covering in raw red sores. Jeff had removed his hood and a bandana revealing his face. His skin was molted with colors and textures. His skin was sullen, as if it wasn't even there. Those milky blue eyes set deep in the shadowed sockets, and you're sure he hasn't blinked even once. But what finally caught your eye was a scar that sliced across his mouth. It didn't look clean at all. The way it twisted his expression made your stomach churn. You figured maybe he was holding some facial scarring to You figured maybe he was hiding some facial scarring to avoid stares from strangers, but seeing it now, you actually felt a flicker of pity for whatever had happened to him. Jeff, what are you doing? The situation was quite not in your favor, so your brain scrambled for a way to flip it. You know, you could have just asked me out. Jeff let out a dry chuckle. Still with that attitude, huh? Then he pulled something from the pocket of his hoodie, a knife. He ran the cold blade gently along your left cheek, careful not to cut it. You kept your mouth shut, fully realizing how serious this was. What's so fun about a simple date? When I could watch a show right now, right in front of me. His voice was scratchy, rushed, tinged with eerie impatience. A show? How you break under fear. Okay. Is that your favorite show? He whispers, laying in close, his breath brushing against your face. I'm sure. Wait, whatever you say. Jeff tilted his head. You could have sworn that was his vision of raising an eyebrow. If he had any. Still pretending you're not scared of dying. Hey, you're making it sound like it's a big deal. Are you insane? Says the guy with the knife. Yeah, the guy with the knife asking me that. He gripped your shoulder with the same hand that pinned you, then slammed your back against the brick wall. Your head hit the rough surface, sending a sharp sting down your spine. You hissed in pain. Apologize. Sorry, you okay? I didn't mean to tick you off. Jeff, already too wide grin, stretched even further as he slowly lowered the knife. But just as a wave of leaves started to wash over you, a sharp pain shot through your gut. Instinctively, a scream tore for your throat, but his hand clamped down over your mouth, silencing it before it could escape. So, do you feel fear after all? So, that's what this was about, fear. There really were some messed up people in this world, and we just met one of them. Well, you were about to stop existing anyway. At least you wouldn't have to deal with any of them ever again. To Jeff, you were just another face in the crowd. Tease him. Harder. Jeff let go of you and took a few steps back, like your words physically burned him. His face showed a genuine surprise, more than you expected. Relax, I'm just messing with you. That wasn't funny. It was to me. Shut up. That wasn't supposed to be funny. You should be scared. Jeff stepped again, raising the knife up to your throat. By reflex, you flinched away from the blade, but the tip still picked under your chin, drawing a sharp sting. You're in an alley at night with a knife at your neck. So let me ask you again. Are you scared? No. Oh, is that so? A sharp, searing pain spoke in your gut, radiating out of the tips of your fingers and knocked the breath right out of you. Your voice caught in the base of your throat. Ha! Just manic laughter echoes in your ears. Two doves. He genuinely sounded like he was having the time of his life. Probably because he is. He held you up by your shoulder for a moment, then let go. The cold hit you all at once. Your limbs were heavy, and no matter how hard you tried, your eyes just wouldn't open. You didn't contain Jeff. The only downside of this the new demo is you can't tell which how many it's not the things aren't numbered. But I love it so far. Stay silent. Your gaze drifted off to the side. You didn't know what to say. His face, yeah, you were scared. Dying, not really. But no answer felt certain. Nothing you could say felt true. Jeff must have seen the hesitation and clearly didn't like it. Jeff strained up over you, studying you in silence. His face was strangely expressionless. You figured it was because with his mouth torn up like it was, he stuck with the same twisted look forever. Just like a certain yokai. Suddenly you felt a crushing grip surrounding your neck. It was hard to breathe. Your hands flew up instinctively, grabbing Jeff's arm. Your body, desperate attempt to fight back. Fear me. The demand came out almost childlike, despite coming from such a menacing figure. I do. You tried to sound sincere, but it's hard with your throat being squeezed shut. But he didn't seem to believe you. I'll make you fear me. He barely caused a whisper before the pressure on your neck erased. His hand was still there, but now only pressing enough to pin you down. You coughed a gasp, trying to pull the air back into your lungs. And then you noticed Jeff was over you again, knife in hand. There was a sudden sting in your cheek, sharp and brief. He managed a clean cut across your left cheek. You could feel a thin trail of blood sliding down your jaw. Aren't I beautiful? Yes. No. Crap, no. You look like you picked a fight with a deep fryer and lost. We're savage. He was starting to take you off, so he didn't hold back the jab. Maybe he got mad enough, he finally dropped the act and just ended the whole damn show. Jeff stayed silent for a moment, until you noticed it, a subtle stretch of a smile. He slowly leaned in towards you, and licked your wounded cheek, trailing up the thin line of blood. His breath hit your skin, warm and damp. The touch of his tongue burned in the open cut, making you hiss. You could deal with him licking you, but it was just him being a freak. But then his knee slipped between your legs, forcing them apart. Something there shifted. Tease him. Was it supposed to turn me on? Maybe if you mocked him enough, he'll get bored and back off. You had to try. Jeff growled through clenched teeth, slamming you back into the brick wall. He let out a pain grunt at the impact. Why don't you fear me? Well, have you seen my dating history? Have you seen my dating history on these these dating sims? I've played three slasher dating sims. All of them having Jason Voorhees. One with Ghostface. Why don't you fear me? It wasn't that you felt nothing. You knew this was dangerous. Your body felt that clear with every pounding beat of your heart. And then you have a third bald character, just like it had been from the start. You just didn't feel fear. Oh, I just kind of felt turned on. He wanted your fear like it was owed to him, But he threatened your life, and you didn't really care about dying. Then what was there to be afraid of? Nothing! I don't know what to tell you, Jeff. Jeff lowered his head, visibly disappointed. He glanced around, uncertain, unsure what to do. In this day and age, I don't think anyone would try to put up a fight. He straightened up again. The smile was wide now. His lips looked stretched tight. Let's play lion. He raised the knife again, but this time not to stab you in the virtual spot. Instead, he slowly brought the tip to your face, right to your left eye. I'm going to hunt you down. Each time I catch you, I'll hurt you. Each time you evade me, I'll back off just a bit. Jeff's eyes twitched, almost completely white, like two burning spotlights in the dark. Wait! He lost the first round. Well, we didn't play... We're getting the rolls right now, so this isn't the first round. Jeff declared and pushed forward. The blade sank into the corner of your eye, right near the lid. You screamed with everything you had until your throat felt like it tore apart. Blood poured out like a tiny cascade, and your body jerked, spraying droplets. Jeff laughed, delighted by the reaction. Then he pushed the blade deeper, sinking into the soft flesh of your eyeball. Ugh! You choke up your own spit, nearly vomiting from the overwhelming pain. Your hands fell against his chest, but he didn't budge. Jeff twisted the handle violently, knife still lodged in your eye. Then he gave it another jerk and pulled. He yanked the eyeball out, just tearing by its veins. What's happening? Is someone there? Like distant holy bells, you heard voices coming from nearby, but your body couldn't stand anymore. Damn, he made me Xander from Buffy, and I hate Xander. He collapsed, your left eye socket gushing blood. Your vision was blurred and broken, but there was no trusting what you saw. You could only focus on what you heard. Remember our game, Lion. Jeff whispered softly, his voice drifting behind you. You felt several footsteps approaching fast, but you gave in to the exhaustion and the pain. You never felt pain like this before. Sure, you might have twisted an ankle or cut your skin before, but nothing came close to the damage done to your eye. It made you painfully aware of what just how dangerous everything had been. Are you awake? The pain and exhaustion was overwhelming. You just wanted to sleep, but clearly there was no choice. You had to face the person standing in front of you. When you came to, you were laying on a hospital gurney. You could smell the disinfectant and feel the weight of the bandages on your face. That was kind of a relief. You were taken care of after what was probably the worst night of your life. You know someone else in the room. A doctor! A man in a white coat, clearly a doctor, watching you closely. Okay, I'm just a little slower. Do you know where you are? Hospital. He nodded silently and scribbled something down on the clipboard he was holding. Your voice was hoarse, your throat sore. You swallowed hard, trying to ease the pain. Do you remember your name? Say your name. It's YN. Alright, do you know why you're here? A burned face, a maniacal laugh. A crazy laugh, insane laugh. Of course you knew why you're here. Someone attacked me. The doctor stepped closer and gently took your hand. You're safe here. He won't hurt you. He won't hurt you now. You stare at him, surprised by how comforting he was. Wow, pretty decent hospital service. He noticed your silence and let go of your hand, clearing his throat into his fist. Sorry, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name's Dr. Paul. Pause her. I'm just gonna call him Doctor. Nice to meet you, Doctor. I'll say I wish we met in better circumstances, but well, you know. The doctor gave a slight nod and straightened up. Let me explain your condition a bit. You got head energy, so we'll be monitoring you for nausea and pain. You got a few cuts, nothing that needs stitches, but keep them clean, no touching. Of course, the moment he said that, everything started to itch. Maybe you'll sneak a scratch when he left. Definitely. You're also... not gonna say it, so take it easy. Don't push yourself. Don't push yourself. And avoid talking too much. If you have trouble breathing or feel dizzy, let someone know right away. Okay, I already have trouble breathing, so does it have to be different? You nod silently, adjusting yourself in bed to sit up. About your eye, I'm really sorry we couldn't save it. Suddenly you felt cold. You had moved on instinct to your left side of your face, where bandages wrapped around your forehead, where your eye used to be. You have some trouble with depth perception, but you could still live a normal life. Do know that. I do know if you have a license, you have to get tested a lot. At least from what, from my understanding of Buffy, that's it. Eventually, you could get a prosthetic. But now, whatever happened, for now, what matters most is healing properly. The doctor noticed how quiet you went and leaned in closer. Are you okay, Wyan? You're fine. It's just one eye. I got another one. The doctor didn't look too convinced by that, but he didn't push it. Is there someone you could call? A family member? A friend? A partner? He didn't want to admit how alone you were, but lying to your doctor didn't feel right either. Let's go if family lives in another city. That might complicate things a bit. The doctor scratched his head archly. Exactly why you didn't want to bring it up. There's got to be someone you're in touch with in the city. A coworker, maybe? Talking about work made you think of a certain someone. What time is it, Doctor? He glanced at his watch. It's 4 a.m. Why? Could you call my boss and let her know I won't go? I can give you her number. Yeah, sure. He scribbled down Cindy's number and handed it to him. Then she fires us while we have a recovery with one eye. The doctor explained a few more things, but only one stuck in your mind. When you're feeling better, you'll be able to talk to the police. And with that, the doctor left the room, leaving you alone with your thoughts. You vaguely remember hearing people running towards you when you passed out the alley. Probably what made Jeff run off. What mattered was that you were safe now, under supervision. There was no way Jeff could get you in the hospital, right? Right? It was unreasonable to worry. His last words were a threat. He'll come after you. But still, you're in a hospital, a place where security actually matters. Or does it? Thinking so much, Supernatural's taught me to escape. Thinking so much wore you out again, so you leaned back in the bed, trying to relax. Just a few minutes. You just wanted to sleep for a few minutes. A faint metallic sound rang in your ears, making you open your eye. It was going to take a while to get used to having just one, but at least you could still make out everything in front of you clearly. There was a doctor standing there, back turned, busy doing something at a nearby table. For a second, you thought it was the doctor you were talking to, but the doctor had black hair. But this doctor had black hair tied in a ponytail. Maybe he was a resident. Excuse me? Doctor flinched at your weak voice. He probably wasn't expecting you to wake up so soon. Can I have some water? He didn't answer. He just stood still for a few moments, then then you heard the unmistakable sound of water being poured. Just the sound it made your first worst. Your sore throat was beginning to be smoothed. You heard a few steps as the doctor approached. I think I know who the doctor is. He tried to sit up, but your body still felt impossibly heavy. Then you felt a hand on your back, gently helping you up. The touch was soft, careful. It made you painfully aware of how vulnerable you were. Then hit the smooth rim of the paper cup, pressed against your lips. You drank slowly. Your throat burned, but the coldness brought relief. One sip wasn't enough. Your mouth was completely dry, so you drank every last drop. You let out a quiet sigh when you're done, glancing sideways at the doctor who'd been helping you. His bangs hid most of his face, but he wore a disposable mask. Well, where have you seen that before? Well, actual doctors do wear disposable masks, so it wouldn't be as uncommon. And also, to begin with, it wouldn't be uncommon for someone to wear a face mask still, because of a certain something. Be demanding. You know how many years of med school takes it to learn? It takes to learn that unconscious patients need water, Doc. You were playing with fire, but the whole thing felt surreal. You couldn't take it seriously anymore. The doctor said nothing. He just went back to whatever he was doing before. Now they had some water. Talking felt easier. The doctor told you not. Dr. Salazar. Okay, now I've told you not to talk too much. So you felt okay enough for a conversation, even if it was one-sided. Tell him what happened. You know, someone attacked me. The doctor froze. It was someone I talked to at work. I guess I wasn't his favorite person. Oh, I wouldn't say that. The doctor mumbled suddenly. His voice was too familiar. The doctor came right to your side, lowering his surgical mask down his chin. Hi, Wyan. Jeff, what surprise! I had no idea it was you. At all. I don't appreciate your sarcasm. Actually, to be fair, even if you're wearing a surgical mask, a lot of doctors still wear it. Because, well, germs. Your heart was pounding just from having the man who tore you out your eye standing so close. Your body was scared, but your mind wasn't. So, you came to give me some special care? Jeff chuckled under his breath and pulled a syringe from his pocket. Something like that. Wait, what are you doing? He brought the syringe to your IV line and injected it straight into the tube. Relax, it won't kill you. Just gonna make you feel a bit restless. The moment he said it, your heart started racing. Your breath quickened, like you were running a marathon. You simply grabbed on your chest, clutching the thin hospital ground. Butthole! Tisk, show a little respect for your doctor. Jeff. Okay, a little bit. Jeff reached out and gently grabbed your chin between his fingers, lifting your head so he could look you nigh. It'd be funny if that just had no effect on me because I have lower blood pressure. Just gives it slightly low blood pressure, just gets it to a normal level. Feeling weak and drained, you didn't resist. Or I just go joking. It's like I drank a monster. You feeling weak and drained, you didn't resist. You didn't even have the energy to call for help or pull away. Remember, this is a game. I'm in hospital. How do you... How do you expect me to run from you? You're such a cheater. Grasped in frustration, you could barely even form words. Consider it a warning. Jeff shrugged, like it was no big deal. Slowly alarm went off, and you heard rapid footsteps approaching from the hall. That's my cue. Jeff pulled the mask back over his face and stood up. You better step up your game. Would be a shame if you end up boring me, he said before disappearing into the rush of nurses and doctors filling the room. Got a critical hypercremia, IV calcium, garsite, 10 million. Okay, slow pulse now. Amidst the fury of commands and medical jargon, you spotted Jeff slipping away unnoticed, like nothing had happened in plain sight. Was it really that easy for him to get in here? Either Jeff had some freakish ability to go unseen, or the hospital was run by idiots. It could be run by idiots too. He hoped it was the first one. Either way, wait, why would I want to be the first one? That'll be even more scary than the hospital run by idiots. Either way, they treat you quickly. You're already feeling a lot better. If you see signs of kidney failure, initiate emergency diagnosis. I might have a kidney stone, bro. Probably have a kidney stone instead. Dr. Sazura. The doctor was giving instructions to another doctor, and now you knew for sure this was a resident. The resident nodded and laughed, leaving the two of you alone. The doctor rubbed his temples and stepped up to your bed. His expression was full of concern, and you found yourself looking away, feeling guilty. Ryan, you suffered a severe case of hyperclemia. Do you have any idea what have caused it? I don't know. Maybe check security. You bit your lower lip at the question. You're struggling with yourself, unsure if you should finally tell someone about Jeff. Keep it to yourself. You decided better to handle this on your own. The fact that Jeff had managed to sneak into the hospital and inject something into your IV under supervision told you everything you needed to know. You weren't safe here. I don't know. I was unconscious the whole time. The doctor leaned closer, resting a hand beside your head. Whatever happened, you could trust me. Yeah. No. You managed to survive this long on your own. You could keep doing it. Call it a gut feeling, but something told you Jeff wouldn't strike again just yet. Which meant you had time to think, to plan. It didn't hurt you so badly as before, so he probably meant it when he said this was a warning of what he could do, and it was up to you to make sure it didn't happen. So no, you had no reason to trust a doctor you barely knew. Doctor, I'm telling the truth. The doctor stared at you for a few moments, clearly unconvinced. Then he sighed and stepped back. All right, try to get some rest. They'll come by to ask you some questions in a few hours. You nodded silently. But unlike before, the doctor stepped out and called someone from the hallway. A nurse came in quickly. Keep an eye on the monitor. Any changes, alert me immediately. The nurse nodded and stayed by your bedside, close to the heart monitor you were hooked up to. Clearly, the doctor didn't trust leaving you alone anymore. I'll be checking in on you periodically. You weren't sure if he was talking to the nurse or to you, but you nod anyway and let your body sink into the bed with a tired sigh. Surviving a sadistic killer is exhausting. More content in development. This is a demo update. Troy puts trust the doctor, but the way he acted so quickly, the care he shown, he was trustworthy. The truth is, my attacker came back. He did something. He put something in my IV. The doctor's eyes widened in shock, then roared, full of regret. I'm sorry, Wyan. This place was supposed to be safe. I failed you. He reached for his hand and gave it a soft squeeze, trying to offer a reassuring smile. It's not your fault. I know you're doing your best. The doctor looked quietly at your hands, gently running his thumb across the back of yours. You couldn't stop your cheeks from heating up just a bit. This is exactly a standard solution, but I could get you out of here somewhere safe. That didn't sound very professional. Not professional at all, but he didn't sound much like a doctor at all anymore. If anything, he sounds men. Really yonder doctor? But you didn't trust the hospital anymore. Anything else sound better than staying here? Let's do it. The doctor quickly filled out the discharge paperwork, handing you your clothes, and wheeled you through the hospital corridors. Where are we going? To my place. Wow, at least buy me dinner first. The doctor chuckled softly, behind you as he pushed the wheelchair. I did perform surgery on you. I think we skipped a few steps. Yeah, a few. At least you could still joke around. You reached the elevator. The doctor rolled you in, positioning you with your back to the doors. What time is it? It's 7 p.m. 7:30 p.m. a.m. By the way, I called your job. The boss asked of yours is something else. She managed. Did she fire me? You both went quiet at the elevator doors open. You waited, expecting someone to step in and press the button, but instead you heard a muffled noise, a struggle behind you. You looked at the mirror in front of you and froze. The doctor was gone. The elevator doors were wide open, showing a dark hospital hallway. Doctor? You called out, hoping for an answer, but nothing came. What a shame. The voice made your whole body tense. Jeff? Who's cheating now? Well, technically, we didn't say I could escape with a doctor. Jeff stepped into view, just outside the elevator. This game between you and me, no one else. But it doesn't matter anymore. The game's over. Jeff walked into the elevator, watching you through the mirror. His voice was playful, but his eyes were bloodshot and wild. So he pulled out his knife. Just slowly, he aimed it to your stomach. You gasped, your whole body tight with anticipation. You knew this was coming, but the anxiety was too unbearable. With the terrifying calm, Jeff pushed the blade in your stomach, slicing through your clothes and into you. You doubled over in pain, but Jeff grabbed you, forcing you upright by wrapping his arm around your neck. You felt his breath through the mask, brushing it against your ear. You clenched your teeth so hard it hurt. Go to sleep. Shh, go to sleep, he whispered, pushing the blade deeper into your body. The pain was so intense, you couldn't even scream. But the way he held you, like a twisted brace, whispering smoothing words, gave you a feeling that, in some sick way, he was being gentle. He could have been more cruel. Maybe he was being merciful, because you had been his little playmate for a while. Ending 3. You didn't play along. Ask him what his name. What's your name, Doctor? I already met Dr. Sazara, and you're and are you a student or maybe a colleague? Or something much better than that. The doctor came back to your side, lowering his surgical mask down to his chin. Hi, Wyan. Enjoying your little hospital stay? What a shame, I'm not really a fan of this place. But you seem to love it. You didn't get a chance to respond. Jeff had already pulled out his scalpel. Wait, Jeff, listen to me. No, there's nothing left to say. You like doctors better. No need to explain further. Jeff thrust his arm forward, driving the scalpel straight into your throat. You choked on your own blood, gargling, unable to scream or even speak. I'm not as skilled as a real surgeon, Jeff whispered right into your ear while you gasped for breath, coughing up blood. But when I lack in skill, I make up for passion. Scalpel dragged out inward, slicing on your neck to your collarbone. It split your skin open like a zipper, so deep you could feel metal scraping against your bone. He laughed gleefully, delighted by the sight you reeled in pain. With blood pouring from your neck, soaked in the hospital gown you wore, and the sheets beneath you. It hurt, but not as much as it should. There's a sting in your throat. You were probably still on painkillers. Thank God. Sure, getting your throat slashed open with a scalpel wasn't exactly how you wanted to go, but at least you didn't have to feel all of it. Maybe someone would catch Jeff once they found your body. He was still standing there beside you, laughing like a lunatic he was. In the end, did he kill you just because you were kind to the doctors? Was he jealous, maybe? No way. He probably just really hates hospitals. Or he's jelly. He's jelly. Totally jelly. Ending 2, no doctors could save you. So I think that the ending 1 is our deaths from the previous day. So if you like my content, please subscribe, like, comment down below. See you guys next time.